2 weeks ago, my neighbor knocked on my door embarrassed. His lawn looked like a parking lot with weeds in it. Bare patches, dead grass, crabgrass taking over the edges. He'd already spent close to $200 that summer on products from the hardware store and nothing stuck. I handed him one sheet of paper, 14 steps, 14 days. Today, I just walked past his house, green from fence to fence, thick, uniform, looks like a golf course compared to what it was. He did it himself. No landscaper, no sod, no starting over. I'm going to walk you through that exact plan today, step by step, day by day. And stick around because around day 10, I've got one overnight trick that makes your entire lawn look 2 shades greener before it's even fully grown in. It costs almost nothing, and most people have never heard of it. Let's get into it. Before we get to day 1, I want to talk about why most lawn fixes don't work. Because if you've ever bought a bag of weed and feed, spread it across your lawn, watered it in, and watched the same weeds come back 3 weeks later, you're not doing it wrong. You're just solving the wrong problem. Here's what I got wrong for years. I treated a bad lawn like it was a single problem. Weeds, spray the weeds. Thin grass, throw down seed. Yellow color, dump fertilizer. The issue is that a lawn isn't a single problem. It's a system. Soil, roots, moisture, and grass blades all working together. When one part breaks down, every other part suffers along with it. Think about it this way. If your soil is compacted, which most residential lawns are after a few years of foot traffic and rain, water can't get through. If water can't get through, roots stay shallow. Shallow roots can't sustain healthy grass through heat or drought. And when the grass thins out, weeds move into the gaps because weeds are perfectly designed to thrive in exactly those stressed conditions. So when you just spray weeds or just throw seed, you're patching over a broken system. That's why it keeps coming back. What this 14-day plan does differently is reset the whole system at once, in the right order. Once you understand that, every step makes complete sense. All right, day 1. You're going to mow the lawn shorter than you normally would. Drop your mower down to about 2 inches. I know, that sounds aggressive. You've probably heard mow high 100 times, and that advice is right for a healthy lawn. But for a tired, weedy lawn, cutting short on day 1 serves a specific purpose. A struggling lawn hides under layers of overgrown floppy grass and thatch buildup. You literally cannot see what you're working with. Cutting low exposes the weeds, opens up the canopy so sunlight hits the soil, and gives your products a clean surface to actually land on. Bag the clippings. Don't mulch them back in. You want the debris gone. Now here's a small thing that makes a big difference. Check your mower blade. If it's dull, nicked, or hasn't been replaced in 2 seasons, put a sharp one on before you start. A dull blade tears the grass instead of cutting it cleanly. Torn grass tips turn brown, and the whole lawn looks worse than it is. A sharp blade makes an immediate visual difference within a few days just from the clean cut alone. Day 2, we go after the weeds. And I want to be specific here because product choice actually matters. I use a selective herbicide called Tenacity. I've tried a lot of products over the years. Off-brand sprays, granular weed and feed, home remedies, and I keep coming back to Tenacity because it does one thing really well. It kills the weeds without killing the grass. We're talking crabgrass, clover, dandelion, foxtail, the most common culprits, gone. And your existing lawn grass, completely unaffected. Mix it in a pump sprayer according to the label. Usually around 1 teaspoon per gallon covers about 1,000 square feet. Add a surfactant. That's just a sticking agent, a few drops, so the product clings to the leaves instead of beating off. Spray the whole lawn evenly and then leave it alone. Within about a week, those weeds will start turning white. That's not a bad sign. That is the herbicide working exactly as it should. The plant is dying from the inside out. Why not just use granular weed and feed? Because granular products have to physically land on a wet weed leaf to work. You get spotty coverage at best. A liquid spray makes direct contact with every surface. It's just more effective. Let it do its job for 7 days while you move on. While the herbicide is working in the background, we're not waiting around. Days 3 and 4, we aerate. Go to your local hardware store or equipment rental place and rent a core aerator. Make sure it's a core aerator, the kind that pulls plugs of soil out of the ground, not a spike aerator that just pokes holes. Spike aerators can actually make compaction worse over time by pushing soil sideways. Run the machine over your lawn in 2 passes, once north to south, then east to west. When you're done, you want to see small soil plugs scattered across the surface roughly every 3 to 4 inches. Now leave them there. Don't rake them up. They'll break down naturally with the next rain and feed organic matter back into the soil. Those holes do 2 jobs. First, they break up compaction and let water, air, and nutrients actually reach the root zone. Second, and this is the part most people don't realize, those holes become perfect little planting spots for the seed you're about to spread. The seed falls in, gets surrounded by soil on all sides, and is protected from birds and from drying out too fast. Aeration is the one step that separates homeowners who get results from homeowners who don't. It's not glamorous, but it's the difference maker. Right after aerating, we seed. For cool season lawns, that's zones 3 through 7, think the Midwest, Northeast, Pacific Northwest, I use Jonathan Green Black Beauty Ultra. It handles heat, drought, and foot traffic better than most blends, and it establishes quickly. For warm season lawns in zones 8 through 10, Bermuda, Zoysia, seeding is less effective. You'll get better results plugging or sprigging for fast coverage. Use a broadcast spreader and put down about 4 pounds of seed per 1,000 square feet. Walk in overlapping rows so you don't leave gaps. The seed will fall naturally into those aeration holes. That's by design. Immediately after seeding, put down a starter fertilizer. Not your regular lawn fertilizer, specifically a starter formula. Starter fertilizer is higher in phosphorus, which is the nutrient that drives root development in new seedlings. Regular lawn fertilizer can actually burn new seed. Don't substitute. From day 5 through day 14, your one job is watering. This is where most people lose their seed and don't understand why. New grass seed has to stay consistently damp from the moment it hits the soil until it germinates. For most cool season varieties, germination takes 7 to 14 days. Any day the surface dries out completely, you can lose a significant portion of your seed, and you won't even know until the gaps show up 2 weeks later. Here's a realistic schedule. Water in the morning for 10 to 15 minutes per zone, and again in the early evening for the same amount of time. You're not trying to soak the ground. You're trying to keep the top inch of soil feeling like a wrung-out sponge, damp but not waterlogged. Set a phone reminder if you need to. Tell your kids to stay off the lawn. No foot traffic, no pets, nothing until those seedlings are up and established. All right, here's the bonus I promised you. Around day 10, your new seedlings are just starting to show, and your existing grass still looks a little tired from the process. This is the moment. Apply a light dose of chelated liquid iron to the whole lawn. About 3 ounces per gallon per 1,000 square feet, sprayed evenly on a cool, overcast morning. Iron doesn't feed the grass the way fertilizer does. What it does is trigger a rapid deepening of the green color in every existing blade. Within 24 to 48 hours, pale, washed-out grass turns rich and dark green almost overnight. At that dilution rate, it won't burn your new seedlings. It's inexpensive, and it makes the entire transformation look dramatically more finished. It's the one move that makes before and after photos genuinely shocking. Before I let you go, 4 mistakes I see people make that undo all of this work. Switching seed every year. Bargain mix one spring, premium blend the next. You get a patchwork lawn that never looks uniform. Pick one quality seed and stick with it for at least 3 seasons. Cutting too short. Scalping exposes bare soil. Exactly what crabgrass needs to germinate. Keep cool season grass at 3 to 3.5 inches and you'll shade out most weeds before they start. Skipping starter fertilizer. I did this for years. Seed on bare dirt, wondering why half of it never came up. Starter fertilizer isn't optional. It's what turns a seed into a plant. Overwatering once established. Deep, infrequent watering, about 1 inch per week including rainfall, builds deep roots. Daily shallow watering builds shallow roots that die the first time it gets hot and dry. That's your 14-day system. No tearing up the lawn, no expensive contractors, just the right steps in the right order. Drop a comment below and tell me what your lawn looks like right now. I read everyone, and if you found this useful, share it with someone who's been fighting their lawn all summer. They'll thank you for it. See you in the next one.